Welcome to Ed Fluential Sports. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. Now, I think Fraxiom should have been won the tag titles. I thought they should have won the Smackdown tag titles at SummerSlam and the ladder match they had, the 16 ladder match, but I do think it's a way to revive their main roster run because it hasn't been great. Like post SummerSlam, it hasn't been great for most of the tag teams. So I think really any tag team could be saved in WWE at this point, especially on SmackDown. Because after SummerSlam, the focus was just Wyatt's and MFTs. I didn't really focus on any other tag team. Profits, Motor City, DIY. We've seen Ciampa left and he's doing his thing in AEW. And so they haven't really focused on that tag division. Even on Raw, it's been tough. Even AJ Styles and Dragon Lee had one of the best Raw tag team title runs of like the last 3 years. Not counting the Usos, obviously they had a legendary reign. But since the induction of the new tag titles, the new design, that's so the Usos didn't have that one, or they got it now. But since the new design of the tag titles, when they split them, when Kevin Owens and no one judged, they lost them, I think. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee had one of the best reigns, probably the best reign since they introduced those new titles. But back to Fraxiom, this is the route I would take to make Fraxiom tag champions for the first time. This is another edition of our pun. So this is what we're going to do in Philly. So this month, obviously, SmackDown was last night. The feud with Gargano, I just let that play out to end the month. Probably do a 2-on-1 match just because get it over with. Or maybe they have some more interactions backstage to finally finish it. But I don't need them to do anything else in February. In March, that's when you have Motor City and Fraxiom, two teams that I think I'm going to kind of revive Motor City Machine Guns in the same breath, too. So it's but it's mainly to focus on Fraxiom and how they will get it. But Motor City is going to be a big reason, going to be a big part of the story. In March, I will have Motor City and Fraxiom. They be the two teams feuding to see who's going to face the MFTs at WrestleMania. And I will have Motor City win and showing that Fraxiom isn't ready yet. Motor City, they dominated in TNA. They came to WWE and won in 2 weeks. And now that they're back in that tag title scene, they get us some momentum going into WrestleMania. Had them get the win. And it just got to be one match. It can be a few segments. They can have some one-on-one matches with each other, mix it up a little bit. Then going into WrestleMania, Motor City, they defeat the MFTs to become tag champions for a second time. That's going to be, you can do that heading into Mania. MFTs are heels, Motor City are faces. And you already had interactions before. And that's how whatever the bloodline at, not the MFTs, I mean, not the Y6. The MFTs, they were the bloodline at the time, I think. But yeah, that's how their first reign had ended. Or that's how their last reign ended when they were tag champions. So you can do the same story, and then you can continue it into something else. But then I'm assuming Oath and Prince is back at this point. So I had Pretty Deadly, have some interactions with Fraxiom, call them toxic or whatnot, have some one-on-one matches. And then heading into the month of May, I would have the feud with Pretty Deadly continue and Fraxiom win that. They won a trilogy of matches, getting 2 wins to Pretty Deadly's 1. Because I think when Elton Prince comes back, they're going to have to get one of those wins. And then obviously the segment's going to be in between that. I don't even think you need the one-on-one matches. But that's what you could do, like the SmackDown before WrestleMania. That'd be a good tag match to start the show, assuming that Elton Prince is back by that time. And then in May, I'll have Motor City. Their first feud will be against the Y6. Obviously, they couldn't get it back from the MFTs. They tried to get it back from the Motor City Machine Guns. They still not going to do it. Once they lose this match, they're going to be completely out the tag title scene. But you got to understand, WWE books and patterns, so they can't just automatically be out the title scene as soon as they lose the titles. So it's going to continue for a little bit. And then once Motor City gets it, they can have another match for another opportunity and still lose it. Then you can get some other teams involved. Like then in June, you can have Motor City feud with Los Garza because they aren't doing nothing. And they were just a AAA tag champions. They can mention that even. They were tag champions more recently than Motor City and how long it took them to get back to that point. And then Fraxiom, I had them defeat the MLTs in a feud, defeating the former tag champions to show that they're ready to be in that scene. And the MLTs at this point, they'll just be struggling to get up the tag ranks again. You could eventually split them because only Solo and Tama Tonga are the only ones that have high sell inside of the MLTs. The rest of them, maybe they could be valuable in NXT, maybe a trade or something. they could do with NXT and SmackDown because they don't really serve a purpose. Solo and Tama Tonga are the only two of the MLTs that are intriguing. The Tongaloa he's a meme, but that's because he botches all the time. He's just not a meme in a good way. He's not a Joe Hendry type of meme. Like Joe Hendry actually has a purpose in NXT and actually has entertaining segments. Tongaloa is a meme because he botches. And so Tala Tonga, one of the worst big men I've seen. JC Mateo should have stayed in Japan. So yeah, I'll just have a feud with the MFTs, whatever combination. As long as it's not Solo or Tama Tonga taking pins, you can run that feud, have them beat the former tag champions and run the Freebird rule anyways. So that would make the most sense. And then you can going into July. I'm assuming the Street Profits will be back at this point. We have Motor City defeat the Street Profits, showing that the Street Profits are still in the tag title scene at this point. They might not want it now, but they're gonna get it back at some point. Maybe it's not in 2026, or maybe they start 2027, maybe they end 2026. But they're gonna constantly be in that tag title picture, so it's not just gonna go away. Then Fraxiom, I would have them feud in July. I'll have them feud with R-Truth and Damian Priest. Would have found success working together in the tag division. I know Priest got a qualifying match next week, but as much as they've been showing Priest and R-Truth on screen together, and obviously they got chemistry when R-Truth was doing the Judgment Day thing, where he was acting like an idiot. Even though R-Truth's character is still goofy, he has more awareness now, I guess. So them being a tag team could actually, it worked out. They had a few tag matches when Priest left the Judgment Day. So I think this could work out. It could be a successful tag team, but obviously they're not going to win the tag titles. But just another tag team to add to the division, because you got enough people in the mid card and main event at this point, and you really don't have nothing for R-Truth to do. So putting him in a tag team with Priest, who they've shown they have really great on-screen chemistry, I think they'll be a fun tag team to watch and have some dope matches. So then putting them in a feud with Fraxiom, as both teams are trying to climb the tag ranks, that's how you can end July. Then going into August, once Fraxiom and Motor City, they did their thing in separate feuds, this is when they meet back up. After a successful spring run from Fraxiom, they want the rematch. They feel like they're ready now. Obviously, Motor City has some championships at this point, and Motor City can't deny their momentum. But they're not just going to give them a championship match, because that'll be the equivalent to the open challenge. They'll say, if y'all can beat us in a tag match, essentially a number one contenders match, kind of how AEW do the eliminator matches. If y'all can beat us during a non-title match, then we'll give y'all the title shot at Money in the Bank, and we'll have match 3 if y'all can beat us in match 2. And then you can have one of those Smackdowns in August. I have Fraxiom beat Motor City in the non-title match. Now both teams are tied 1-1, and you can complete the trilogy at Money in the Bank. We don't get tag matches at Money in the Bank. We do if it's a Roman for some reason, but I think Roman and Solo did fight for the tag titles. That was really weird. But an actual tag title match with actual tag teams at at Money in the Bank, which is in September for some odd reason, that's where I would have that pay off. Because obviously you're going to have the Money in the Bank matches. Then you can throw this in the middle of that, putting the tag titles on a pay-per-view on Money in the Bank. Because the tag titles usually haven't been defended on Money in the Bank recently, unless it was Roman, like I said, which was really odd and shouldn't have happened. But yeah, or was that Night of Champions? Either way, that might have been Night of Champions. Either way, Roman Reigns shouldn't have been a tag title match in the 2020s. That don't make sense. But Fraxiom and Motor City Machine Guns, I would have them have a match at Money in the Bank and make it a tables match. If it was a different pay-per-view in September, I would have did a ladder match. But it's already going to be the ladder match for the women's Money in the Bank and men's Money in the Bank. So I think 3 ladder matches is kind of unnecessary. It could work, but it's like throwing a ladder match right in the middle of the show. That'd be kind of weird. But I would have Fraxiom defeat Motor City to finally become tag champions. And this would be a successful main roster run, because obviously after SummerSlam, they kind of just gave up on the tag division. Really, both sides, especially SmackDown. Raw, they didn't care to begin with. Raw, they was just doing whatever. But SmackDown, I think this would be a really good way to bring multiple teams to relevance. Even though it's me just booking these two specifically for the story of Fraxiom not being ready for Motor City the first time they meet up, due to Motor City being one of the more experienced tag teams, being one of the best all time, and then Fraxiom finally going over after months of build up to it. It's also building other teams in here as well, like Pretty Deadly. You can keep them on TV, get them some screen time. the Street Profits. You can show they still in the tag title picture. The Priest and Truth, obviously, it's no. I feel like Priest is already peaked as a single star, but him in a tag team and with R-Truth, like them two have really great chemistry together. Then obviously the Y6 and MFT is just like the champions. They don't just lose and then automatically need a title scene. Like you got to be a build up to them leaving. So that's what I would do. Like I said, I would have a payoff at Money in the Bank in September and have Fraxiom beat Motor City Machine Guns in the third match. But the third match can't be regular. If you're doing a trilogy or a best of 5, best of 7, that final match gotta have some type of stipulation. So I would make it a tables match. I would want to do a ladder match, but with me putting that Money in the Bank, that 3 ladder matches unnecessary. Like a ladder match in the middle of the show is kind of stupid to me. But with that being said, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment what y'all thoughts, share for us to see. Yeah, let me know. Is this the best way to provide a tag team division to get multiple tag teams over on SmackDown and bring it back to what it was like last year from WrestleMania, that SmackDown before WrestleMania, whenever that was, when the Profits had won it, until SummerSlam. Let me know if y'all like this idea. Let me know how y'all would book the Fraxiom, Border Infinity, or any of the other tag teams to win tag gold. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and share.